chimed in already and joining us. We are back with Dining and Doodles. The mouse on us is not working, so we kind of had that off at the moment. So we're going to be doing some art. We had some requests, and we are back after 2 weeks absence, thanks to the bed. Yeah. It actually happened literally that Saturday. It is so bad that I was like burning to hell. And see how you do with Blizz. Well, I welcome you because we're gonna be doing some work. As I saw per your request, when I set up the thumbnail, I was just doing one. But we have the request to do them battling. So you got Blizz, and you have Celis. Is that the name of the other one? Here, Cel. Or CELE. I can bring it up on the screen because we've got the webpage set up. If the webpage will show. Properties, come on. I know you're there. No, we got it. All right, Sally. There we go. Yeah. So we have Sally here, who we're going to be drawing along with Liz here. Both characters created through Cypher, through, is this Xenoverse 2? Is where they're made from? Celii. Okay, Celii. Okay. That's how we say it. Alright. I figure it's from one of the Dragon Ball games. I haven't been able to play any of them. In a while. Well, not true. I have played Xenoverse. The original Xenoverse. So it is Xenoverse 2. Okay. I don't know if I have it or not. I might have picked it up on one of our streams. I am doing something unique with this one because it is a Dragon Ball game and we are using characters. I am doing something I usually don't say I don't allow, and that is comic panels. So we're going to try and do this traditionally as I would for a comic, which is why you're seeing me sort of do these panels here. Which, I mean, I'm willing to break my rule a few times. And to do an action scene, we can break those rules. Because we only have one page to draw. And I just wanted to do facial close-ups of the two characters. Celish. Or Celly. Celly. Okay. Sort of like Sele. Like the... what is it? The secondary books of the Bible that you've, of course, heard if you watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, you've heard the villains being the Sele. Well, part of the villains. I'm eating my dinner with this, which is some country ham biscuits. Because we in the South. Alright. We're going to start with the heads. Because it's going to be the easier, quick time to draw. And let's see here. I just want to see who I've got where. Kinda meant to be the whole vegetable theme for Sans having celery. Okay, I gotcha, celery. True. I mean, if I were to do a DBZ character, original character, and name them, I probably would choose a vegetable, but I want to choose something stupid, like maybe kumquat or something like that. I do enjoy celery. I mean, it's been a staple of my diet recently, see? So, celery is basically been what I've been living off of somewhat since the COVID. Since the vid. So let's see here. We're going to try and sketch this out a little bit better. Trying to use, I do have larger pictures next to me on my computer screen, so I can see what I am looking at character-wise. And as per Toriyama, he's got the eyes. I wonder how much Toriyama has influence on the Xenoverse games. I mean, Oda has a lot of say in the One Piece games, but I think a lot of the shonen games they don't really pull. It's out of anyone, Toriyama should have say on Dragon Ball games. We got sort of the Cell-esque look to this / Frieza look. To Blizz. We might go over on this because we are doing 3 images and trying to draw this as quickly as possible, but as accurately as well. And Blizz fits the cult naming theme of Frieza family. So he's a Frieza based. Okay. I didn't think they had Cell based characters as an option for Xenoverse. Or they may have. I know they had Boo, like race. Why? Trying to get the Toriyama eyes done properly here. And I mean, we're back. We're going to be doing a lot of different streams coming up. We're going to be doing Drivel Draw, which we're going to be doing Witchin drawings. And what was the subject? Oh yeah, food crimes of the Food Network. So we're gonna touch on that on our subject on Tuesday. And tomorrow night we will be touching on. We're gonna be playing Yakuza 0. It's gonna be the first ones. The Namekians and humans, Frieza's family. Yeah. Again, since you can pick those clothes, you can now custom them. Okay. I have one of them. I don't remember if it's 2 or if it's 1. I know I have one in the PlayStation. 4 lineup. I really need to get a PS5, but at the moment, it's not in the budget. It's down the line, but we got to do some upgrades to the computer setup. It's more of a triangle face. I'm going to do the body armor first. It's going to be a little bit easier. Kind of flows into that part. That might be Xenoverse 2. I've never played the original, so I can't be sure. I don't remember if it was, like I said, I got it on a deal one time where it was like really cheap. But I think it was before 2, so I think it is 1. I think it was 2 was coming out, and you could get 1 for like super discounted, which is what happened with Yakuza. And one of the reasons we're playing Yakuza on tomorrow night's stream. Wednesday we will be doing a review of Shy. It'll be a lesser look on Wednesday this week instead of our usual Thursday. That's mainly because, well, Thursday's Thanksgiving here in the US, making it a holiday. And while I'm not really going anywhere, I kind of want to have the holiday. So, I'm going to do my cooking and enjoying. And maybe something else. Maybe some gaming. I don't know. But we'll be playing Friday. Because I have off that day. Anyway. So yeah. Dadgummit. Stop changing the color. Oh. No, I like. I like these clip paint studio, but the mobile really has some issues. And one of the problems I have is the damn thing goes to eyedropper mode far too often and changes the color in mid-drawing. Maybe I need to get a glove for when I draw. For those looking for updates of the comics and art, Demon Blade just dropped 3 pages at once. Literally about 2 hours ago. As well as I dropped the latest page of The Bet on our DeviantArt page for those that really like that series. Which, to be fair, I mean, the Digimon series that we're doing, The Bet, it's confusing to me. As the artist, as I let the writer write, and I always kind of question where the heck the series is going. It's one of the ones, it's nice to draw, but difficult to understand where things are going. Alright. Now, you said you wanted, in your quote, Cypher, you wanted his armor to be white for Blizz. You want to keep it as white, or do you want it go with the regular color. I mean, I guess if it is a Frieza-based character, going white is more appropriate. Yeah, I want to make the armor white. Okay. We're going to make the armor white. We're going to do a gray tone. And then I'll add shades of blue and white as we go to the actual armor. Because just like black, you don't go full white unless you're a black and white comic or manga. So we want to do a little bit. A little there. Highlighting. Maybe just do this whole part here highlighted. The sad thing is, with the COVID, I wasn't able to do much at all. For the last 2 weeks, it's been mainly me laying at home, doing not much, and then going to work and doing what I could at work without collapsing. I wasn't contagious when I went to work, so people questioning why I went to work with the vid, the vid was gone by that point. It was just the remnants, which was coughing for me. Ever kind of regretted the all black, especially since my character in Universe 2 had that red, white, black combo scheme or color scheme, like Cell's kind of kick-ass outfit design. Okay. But you still want the red skin and the gem to be red. And we're going to use some of the same sort of colors. And I actually will do white the eyes. Yes, okay, good. Just want to make sure. And the eyes are red with black. Kind of looks like a little bit of cooler look to him. Less Frieza, more cooler. Which is not bad. I mean, out of the non-canon, well, I guess he is canon now, isn't he? Out of the non-canon villains of DBZ, I'll say of DBZ, because the Super is different ball game. Cooler is probably the best design. So, let's bits. Since I was sick, I am delaying Witchin' until January for release. So I was waiting for the new issue of Witchin'. You're gonna have to wait that being said, Demon Blade is going to be coming to an end of chapter 9. At which point it's going to go on to chapter 10. Yeah, the base of the outfit for him was a lot cooler. A lot cooler. There's no good Frieza race outfits. I kind of figured. Frieza's a great design for a villain, but honestly, his final form sucked. I hate to say it, but I kind of wanted, when I was watching it for the first time, I kind of wanted to see almost more. I know the third form, I'm trying to remember if it's third or second, went more Xenoverse, or Xenomorph, in a sense. And that looked more amusing, but yeah, copyright. So Toriyama couldn't keep that design. But Frieza just looked like a pansy pushover in Dragon Ball. Share the same freaking letter. Alright, let's go to Blues. Bluegrass. Most of Smooth Frieza's base outfits don't use bio armor. It's a lot of U-turn gold transformation, basically purple and then gold. Yeah, and I've not paid much attention to Super. I really need to get back into watching it. But I've gone through a lot of anime while I was sick. So I think I've watched about 25 titles of this season. And some of them are worth talking about, some of them aren't. I don't like how that last part there. But I know on Super, I'm on the first battle between Barisa's alternate universe battle. I think, the first one, where we meet the first of alternate universe Super Saiyans. And that's pretty much where I stopped with watching. I think we'll just go shade blue, because it looks a little bit better. Overall, though, I enjoy what I've seen of Dragon Ball Super. Wrong thing. I just don't care to keep watching, because it's Dragon Ball. As much respect I can give the series, because it is Dragon Ball, it's very repetitive. And it's the reason why I could not stand to keep watching Bleach, is because it's very repetitive. Okay, let's do a quick base color for background there. We'll go and do our other character. Do their face. So this is going to be Celery. Let's see here. Where's the images there? real quickly deselect so I can. Wrong layer. And I'm going to kind of blow that up a little bit so I can see their face a little bit better. But definitely DBS is one of the worst in rigid. Well, I mean, DBZ's honestly not that bad, or not that better. And then when it went to GT, I watched GT in the original Japanese, no subtitles. So, as well as the Boo Saga. I mean, when I watched those two sagas, it was hard. It was hard. But all in all, okay. It could have used a bit more, maybe story, which is my main problem. I will give it, through the Cell Saga, the story's good. But once you hit Boo, it's kind of like, we're kind of just repeating the same elements. Not to say Boo was a horrible character, but it was. As somebody watched it in the Raw, it just dragged. It just dragged. And it was nice to see Vegeta, back into his old ways, but it's Vegeta. You knew he was going to get his ass kicked. I would have honestly had a better opinion of that saga if it stayed focused on Gohan being the hero, sort of taking the reign from his father. But Gohan got nerfed fast in the third. And I get it. I get it, because, I mean, Goku was the original character. It's kind of like how Jotaro will always be in JoJo. Because, well, Jotaro's not the original character, but he's the fan favorite. So the editors and the artists are going to be like, yeah, we want the OG. We want the original. We want the one that fans love. Of course, with any Toriyama character, you have to have a prominent lip. Let's see here. Very girly face. Very slender body at that. But it looks male. So, very femboy-esque saying? I can't tell. In any case, notable voices I used for these two might seem a little lopsided. Okay. Lucy Christian and Sal and Clifford Chapman. Okay. I mean, yeah. So this even had a female voice. Okay. So this is Sally a female Saiyan, or just a very femme Saiyan? Which would be humorous to look at. I could still see them get their ass kicked. I'm trying to do one of the hardest things to do in a drawing, in manga, and I've been trying to do it a bit more in my work, simply because, in fact, you'll see it in both this issue, our latest page, and the next page of Demon Blade, where the head is sort of shot from below. Geez, girl, it's hard to make a Vavoom female Saiyan without certain armors. I gotcha. Okay. Alright. So it is female. I mean, Toriyama is not the widest range of female characters. I mean, Oda almost has more range than Toriyama with female characters. And people give Oda shit about his. Sorry for the swear, but I had no other idea of what to do there. And it's supposed to be family friendly, and I apologize. Girl, it's hard to make. Yeah. Okay. I need to see how the eyes are. Yeah. I know there are more females in Super, but I also don't want to credit Toriyama too much for Super, because it was originally, I think, a dojin from one of his assistants, and he got the push by the editor to keep doing Dragon Ball, and thus we got Super. Of course, after the movies were hit, especially Superhero, and I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched Superhero yet. And the Broly movie. I know the Broly movie was a big hit. The more recent Broly one. Let's see here. Bring it down. Kinda bring the hair over to the side. I don't want to fully make the hair black, because it'll look a little weird. I honestly hate when they discourage Oda's beautiful women design being the same. I mean, he's got about 6. Most people say only 3, but it's not true. He's got about 6. And then he gets a little more unique if the devil fruit's involved. But I mean, yeah, Oda does have a limited look for females, but like I said, Toriyama has far more of a lack for females. But I mean, for years, his two female characters were Chi-Chi and Bulma. So, and they were just basically different hair and a different palette, if you did color. think Chi-Chi's eyes are a bit different too. But when you have a very male-focused comic like Dragon Ball Z, and so on, it's kind of hard to... Oh, too far. Alright. Kind of hard to do much when you don't have much you're doing. Rita Rarely is, I guess, listed there too. Being Dr. Slump and Toriyama's, I'd say, most successful outside of Dragon Ball series. But, I mean, honestly, I don't think there are too many Slump fans outside of Japan. There was, I'd like to say Desert Punk. I remember or Sand Devil. I don't remember what it was called. I know it finally got, I think, an animated short, at least, because it wasn't a very long series. But it was one of Toriyama's series that kinda didn't do much. Desert Punk. So it was a Desert Punk. So there are two anime called Desert Punk. Because there's another one that's humorous and enjoyable. And then there's the Devil Kid in Toriyama's, that the series didn't really take off. He hasn't really had much success outside of Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball and Jump since. But yeah, I mean, you give him credit because he also did the designs for years, and I don't know if he still does them for Dragon Quest games. I think maybe one of his assistants / pupils had taken on the duty of those. I mean, we gotta keep in mind, the man is old. If he's gotta be in his 60s at this point, if not older. Because he started Dragon Ball in 83, but he had Dr. Slump before that. So, gosh, I don't remember. But I mean, when you have a huge success, I don't expect Oda, when One Piece is finally done, I don't expect him to come out with another series. I mean, the dude's got plenty of money to live off of the rest of his life and be comfortable. He's one of the rarest. But while we got this up, let's address the elephant in the room that is Mappa. It's disappointing, especially with Jujutsu Kaisen having such an amazing animation style this season, to see that Mappa, it's been treating its animators like crap. When you have decent animation staff, you really should at least treat them decently. And I'm using that in loose terms because in anime, it's very loose terms. Oda would retire, that'd be fine. He chooses to make another series. I hope he takes it easy. Yes, and I think everybody wants him to take it easy. This past week was the first time ever that Oda had to release an unfinished chapter, and it is insane considering you've gone thousands of chapters, and even the bigger, heavier artists out there that are younger struggle with that. Because, I mean, the moment you get sick, it's hard to bring out. Did you want the eyes to be purple or blue for Sally? Because it kind of get a mix here from zooming in. These are hints of purple, but also blue. Blue. Okay. We'll do it blue. There we go. And Toriyama does pupils. Let's get a little of the lighter skin tone, I think. Kinda. We need to get shade. We need to get a shade here. Alright. Trying, like I said, trying to do some angles a bit differently these years. Because it's always important to learn these new angles and get better. So, under angle, it's not the best, but it definitely gives sort of a heroic look better than sort of just your straight on. Oh, missed the spot. There we go. And I'm going to use the same background right now for the character. Alright. Now we're going to work on the bigger images, which I sketched out a bit more because I knew it was going to be a fight. So we kind of want to have the fight scene a little bit better. Alright. The catches is going to be the armor. Let me see the back. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's not a pin. There we go. Let's do it with the head first. Oh, come on. Oh. Deselect. Typically, when I draw a fighting scene, which usually is Demon Blade, because I don't do too many of them in the Patreon requests, although we are kind of getting that point with Magical Princess War, which is a unique mess in its own. But typically, I try to draw out the action as best I can in the scene. But I have my usual rules of how the pen's marks are going to go, how thick the lines are. And certain details are always important. Stuff like it can't ignore tattoo scars. I can't ignore Mai's necklace in those scenes. And we're getting this chapter 9 has been very not tuning. Hiya. Chapter 9 has not been very action heavy. And it's not meant to be an action heavy chapter. But 10 through 14 are going to be immensely action heavy. So I'm in for a lot of long drawing sessions for Demon Blade coming up. First is 10, which is very much, and a little bit of 11, sports action, which I don't really do, but it's part of the story. It's humor. It sets up a character who's important down the line, and it sets up for the final build-up for the main fight of the story arc. So when drawing that, I'm gonna have a lot of frustrated nights. It's not to say they'll take that long. I do a lot of the drawing during my lunch breaks at work. And, well, I don't like how that spike's going. Let's go it this way. I get an hour, and I just work from my desk at work. And I get maybe 2 panels done. Action-wise, I'd probably get 1. So it's definitely going to slow down a little bit. So I'm going to have to probably focus a lot more on getting it drawn out. You guys will see in a dribble draw. I will not be doing any more Demon Blade Chapter 9 in a dribble draw, because we're right at the end. And this has been a story that I kind of want to keep the end of 9 hidden from the audience until it drops. A lot of these chapters, up to 24, were already drawn and done before, when I was able to do a once-a-month release with Demon Blade. I physically can't do that anymore. I just don't have the energy. I've done what Oda does every weekly, once, and I don't want to repeat of the grueling, 3-4 hours a night of sleep, to put out a 16-page comic. not a pleasant experience. But rewarding nonetheless. But it hurts. It hurts immensely to do something like that. Alright, how big is the gym? Okay. It goes. My sketch of the gym is nowhere near the size. Okay. And he has his muscles. I'm getting better at making muscles, but it's always impressive how much detail Toriyama put in to the muscles of his characters and how they moved. And I mean, with us discussing the mappa a little bit, I have to give credit to Toei. Because all these years, you've had Dragon Ball, you've had Sailor Moon, you've had One Piece, all done from Toei. And while people give Toei some crap sometimes about the characters being off model, Toei still treats its staff with decency. And I mean, that's the reason why all these other studios have been around for maybe like 10, 15 years. And they've been around for 50, I think, at this point. I mean, keep in mind, Godzilla's Toei. We could see a One Piece Godzilla crossover. I don't know if we would. I mean, we've kind of seen little of the comedic omakes, as they were called, of One Piece, where Luffy was the giant robot and Luffy was the giant dragon. But I can't say for sure that they would be the best. We are ready for the next big, best thing to One Piece and Godzilla crossover called Roof Piece. Well, I don't know who the studio is going to be. I'd have to look it up. I know next year we're getting Kaiju 29, is it? Or 28? One of them. Kaiju 8, I think. That's a shonen title about kaiju. I would love to see Toei, live into it with that series, but just sort of acknowledging their history. But at the same time, yeah, we may not see it from them. The one series I hadn't been able to watch because I don't have Hulu has been Undead Unluck. Which the manga was okay. I know it's still going, but not one that I care to keep reading. So it wasn't one that I really focused on. But I do kind of wish I watched that one. I know after Shy, which is going to be this week, we're going to do Pluto, which is on Netflix, which is based off of a very award-winning series manga. So, and definitely something I suggest if you like anime with a bit of mystery, definitely check out Pluto. I mean, check out the manga too. It's an incredible manga that's set in the Tezuka world, which is the creator of Astro Boy. So the basically father of anime, Azoku Tezuka. And yeah, to have a murder mystery with Astro Boy in there. He's called Adam in Pluto, but he's there. But it's kind of cool to see. Kind of cool to see. Even if most people haven't seen Astro Boy outside of the Nicolas Cage animated film. Yeah, Nicolas Cage was in an Astro Boy film. Good lord. He's in everything. I did watch Redfield recently because it's on Prime for free. So I was like, yeah. Let me watch it. Yeah, it's okay. Nicolas Cage as Dracula's great. Trying to do the best I can with these pants. But drawing a character in action without too much experience drawing that character is always a challenge. Doesn't matter which sort of experience you have. You haven't really gotten too into their body in motion. And the more weird it gets, or structurally twisted the body gets, the harder it is to imagine. I notice he doesn't have Frieza or Cooler's feet. Because Frieza always had that three-toed thing going. In fact, I just watched DBZ Abridged episode 60 commentary after or right before the stream. And I would love to see them do something new anime wise, but I understand why they've been hesitant on doing anime content using anime series outside of what they do with Hiffle. Which is completely original stories using CGI characters of the Dragon Ball characters that, honestly, in a comedy series works. And, I mean, it's why I like Devil Artemis. With the Cell versus, or what are they? Dragon Ball Super Friends? I'm trying to remember what they're called. I didn't care for the feet of most of the Frieza race, especially the Berserk suit boots. Ended up giving you a slick spiked shoe that looked like it could do some serious damage. I mean, function and a design is always good. I mean, I definitely give Toriyama credit for the use of tails in the series. Not just the Saiyan tails, but how Cell uses his tail and how Frieza uses his tail. It was a unique fighting style. Let's see here. I was going to do this leg out here with the armor coming around. That end. Tail over a bit more. Slowly start bringing it in. I need more tails in Demon Blade. Trying to think if I even have a character with one coming up. Not. Maybe I could redesign a character in the Spring Fever story. To have one. I don't know. I mean, outside of chest piece, Blitz's outfit is pretty much all Berserker suit. Under the chest piece, it's just ultimate F suit. Okay. I haven't really, like I said, played the games that much. I mainly played them, and I got it mainly just to play through traditional fights from the Dragon Ball story arc. Now we need to do Sally. Kind of want to sketch that out a little bit differently. Do a sort of Dragon Ball Scream. I need to probably play Xenoverse on the stream. At least Xenoverse or Xenoverse 2. We might add that to the lineup. Because I do want to do more games. It wouldn't be bad. It sort of fits our what we have going. for the types of games. I also do want to come back to Stardew eventually. Definitely needed to redraw that because the shoulder's out of whack. Redo the arm here. Ow, no. Let's... Yeah, let's do a catch. No. Catch isn't gonna work. Catch isn't gonna work. Not at the angle we have her at. Maybe catch over here. Yeah, that'll work. And when you do an action scene for art, and I know I kind of am in a sort of untapped territory, is there's not too many web comics that do action that much. The few that do either get it right or don't. Try and give her a little more feminine curve. But you really gotta plan out one, the camera angle, two, the positions of the characters, and what kind of attack is being pulled off. One of the things I always noted when reading Naruto, and I have to say, I have to do it through Naruto because One Piece is great, but Oda draws out very few of the attacks going in and then hitting that you see so often in Naruto. So where you kind of see the punch being pulled and the punch connecting and the reaction. So each sort of artist that does an action series has to have their sort of own take on it. But it's good to kind of plan out the attack. Now, Oda does do some pretty grand attacks and amazing panels of huge attacks. But at the same time, action-wise, I've got to give it to... I don't even want to give it to Kubo either for Bleach, because I felt Bleach... The character design was great, but that was about it for Bleach. There wasn't much that I was impressed with Bleach. I liked the story at the beginning, but when they got past the Soul Society, it kind of just became Dragon Ball Z, in a bad way. And it just got repetitive. Actually, yeah. Let's not do straight arm. Let's do her getting ready to sort of throw her own punch at him. One Punch Man does decent with action. Because it's one punch. You gotta make that punch look badass. But I mean, with One Piece is, that's what most people don't understand. One Piece is very much about the story. It's about the adventure. I hold to it, and I think I'm one of the only people out there with somewhat of a voice and will say it. Blackbeard's not going to be the final villain. The government's not going to be the final villain. The final villain is the shadow of Roger that Luffy is going to have to sort of go beyond. Right now, he's kind of matching young Roger and his legend. But the concept is for the quest to find that One Piece and to become a greater figure than Roger, to become the Joy Boy. And while Luffy is on that, I think if he fought Roger, which isn't happening unless we have some sort of clone of Roger, which I think Oda's been building up to with the concept of clones, that we'd see sort of Roger versus Luffy. I mean, we've had Luffy's dream redefined to us, so yeah. Luffy's dream is probably, and someone stated this, it's probably just to eat, to have a party with everybody in the world. World party. It has to be something silly enough to make people laugh and be in shock of how stupid it is. But it's Luffy, and the things that Luffy cares about is food. It's parties. It's having fun with your friends. So, yeah, Luffy's dream is likely, I want to have a big party. World party. Yeah, Arthur from the library. Yeah, I think that's where I saw it from, was Ohara. Because it makes sense. It makes sense. Luffy did not want to be... He wants to be the most free. He's established that before. That the King of Pirates is the most free in the world. And so, I mean, we know that with Luffy. That he wants to be the most free person in the world. We also know, whatever the treasure is, it's made people laugh. So, I don't know if Oda would get away with it, but I'm thinking a giant gold butt. A true end at the end. But that's sort of my headcanon. I don't think that's gonna be exactly, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oda made the One Piece to be a physical joke. a lot of people have said, oh, well, it's maybe controlling the world or something like that. I think the One Piece is something dumb and stupid, that most people just overlook the humor of it. But it's also something that people learn from, because one of the things, and I came across this lesson from a different show, that was a travel show to Japan, and they mentioned the treasure of the world being knowledge, the true treasure of the world. So I wouldn't be totally surprised if whatever it is some sort of knowledge, but something simplistic and dumb. We know that One Piece isn't just a journey. Yeah. It isn't just the journey. It's a very powerful series. And Oda knows how to write tragedy on top of... Hold on, I screwed up something here. He knows how to write tragedy pretty well, as the current story arc has been doing. Seeing Kuma's past is just... I didn't mean to do that. Alright, paste. There we go. Just been heartbreaking. Really. But it's something we didn't know we needed when we got introduced to Kuma. And then later to Bonnie. And knowing Bonnie's real age. Oh my god. I think that Grand Line review had stated there's a large portion of the population of One Piece fans. They're like, oh crap. Oh crap. I thought she was sexy. And now I'm in trouble. I mean, it's no surprise that she could hide her age. Yeah, hard to think Bonnie now. All the flack people are giving Oda her age. But, I mean, it makes a good story. It makes you feel for Bonnie, and it gives you a character we haven't really gotten much of. With Momo, we kind of got a little bit of it, of having a kid around. I mean, Chopper technically is a kid too, but Momo was the whiny brat. And he still is. I, for the love of me, was screaming watching the TV and the final battle, which happened in 3 chapters, and how much whining Momo was doing. I was like, shut up. But that's what Toei gave us. And they stretched out that whiny Momo. At least with Bonnie, you know, she may be a kid, but she's a badass kid. I mean, the world government has been struggling to keep her. Blackbeard had her. Ray's been on a wall for the use of her power to revert his head and stop Zoro from pulling out the water. 12-year-old at the start. Yeah. By the time we saw her in the water at the beginning of Egghead, which the anime is going to be getting into real soon, we should have known that her original age is childlike. And mainly because the water would take her power or make her weak. Now, I mean, Luffy's power still has worked in the ocean. I mean, heck, the Hody Jones fight happened in the ocean. So the powers, there's always been an argument the powers still can work with the water, but Oda's been kind of over the place, or at least maybe it's Toei that screwed it up. They've both been over the place with if freshwater effects, or if, they get completely worthless in the water, which we've seen a mixed variety of. And I mean, we've even possibly seen the death of Kid at this point. I don't know if we've seen the death of Law, but Kid's pirates, they're definitely dead. Unless Shanks pulled them out of the ocean. Which is possible. We don't know fully, but it just proved that Kid was not that great of a pirate. Even though being built up as the second greatest to Luffy when he was introduced. Law, we can confirm, is still alive. The majority of its crew is, on the other hand, is probably not. Well, majority of its crew wasn't fruit users. So, but I mean, it is Blackbeard. So, we don't know. We still don't even know if Garp's properly dead. We know Garp's captured, at least. But we don't know if he's dead. Which makes people coming in that are live action fans gonna be confused. But, I mean, the live action, we should not see Garp in the next season, or Kobe, or Harmelpa. I mean, they're great characters. I don't even want to see much of Buggy, honestly. I mean, when I thought Saul was dead after Akichi got his mitts on him, and now Garp is in the same state. Yeah. I mean, Saul's alive. We know that. Which makes us want to see him reunite with Robin. And they are headed towards Shanks, if Shanks doesn't move. Eventually. Because we do know their target is to go to What is what? The Giant's Land. I forget. It's slipping my head off the top of my head. Um, but I mean, we need to see that area. I mean, there's a lot of plot heavy and character heavy moments. Elbath, yeah. We got a lot of Elbath storylines that have been out there that need to be resolved. I mean, Usopp wanted to be the greatest warrior of the sea and visit. You had Robin with Saul. You have Shanks being there and it being his territory. Which will resolve whatever happened to Kid. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Shanks would just let them die. I don't know. But we are seeing a far more powerful version of Shanks these days. And we may, I don't know if, I don't think it's been confirmed, but if Garland is Shanks' father or grandfather. But we know he's related. And then, I mean, we had Shiki showing up as member of the Rocks Pirates. So, we might see some Uta elements with Shanks more. Because she does technically exist, but her story arc is different in the series than it is in the movie. But she is still got that daughter connection with Shanks. Because Luffy's met her. That's canon story. Just like Z, we have History of Z, and we also have, I can't remember the name of the pirate that was in the what was it? Recent movie that was a member of Roger's crew. Drinking some tea. Got some apple spice tea to help my throat. Oh, great. I gotta do characters. Actually, Stampede. Yes. I forget the name of the character that was the villain. It was a decent film. I admit, I enjoyed it. I think most of the films are either hit or complete miss. And while I like the music of Red, the story just was not that great. But I like the idea of Shanks having a daughter and Uta. It's not that he has to have an actual daughter, but an adoptive daughter. I mean, Shanks was adopted by Roger. So was Buggy. I do want to see. I'm waiting for the Shanks Buggy reunion. Outside of the one that they had at Rainford. That'd be an interesting reunion. I know Buggy's still probably like, I can't take Shanks. Douglas Bullet. Okay. Yeah. Official member of Roger's crew after that movie. So, just like Shiki. Pretty much from Shiki's movie, which is the... I have the damn thing, but I don't even have it around me. Strange World. From Strange World on, a lot of the villains have played some role in the universe and have some canon ability. While a lot of the ones before, which I'm glad, I really could not care for Wappa's brother from movie 9, which was the retelling of Chopper's story, but with Frankie there and Robin in the party as well. And of course, Alabaster was literally just a retelling of the story. But Baron Tamago, or what? Not Tamago, not Baron Tamago. The Baron in movie 6 or 7, I forget which one was, that had the flower that was killing people. That one was pretty good, but he died in the end. So his death can be canon, as far as I'm concerned. Because he was dead to begin with, as I recall. The flower kept him alive. But that's a movie that needs to be released in the US, and it's not. I'm kind of surprised some of the earlier ones have not been. Strong World. Okay, no, instead of Strange World. Strong World. But yeah. I'm just kind of surprised we don't have some of the earlier movies. Not the best, because I mean they're typical 90s to early 2000, anime movies that are tied into a show where it's not that great, but it's at least a story. I think the best movie that had some canon for an anime series, and I don't like the series that much anymore. The first Tenchi movie, as it had the canon of the mother and her past and why she died. Gave an example, gave a reason. And made it badass. Because the first Tenchi movie, great. Second, third one, no, horrible. But that's me having years of anime viewing experience. mean, I still stand by that the movie Akira is one of the best. Although Ghost in the Shell, I'll give Ghost in the Shell as well some. That was pretty good film. The sequel films, not so much. But the first film, great. Classic. Classic film. Period. Not just classic movie. And Standalone Complex was great. The black spandex. We're gonna do that color. It's not black. It's gray. Probably do the same with the belts. Maybe a little darker. See, this is where it's kind of harder to do the blacks and grays. Appropriately. Alright. Let's... I'm going to try and do as much of the white as I can and work my way from there. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Okay, I see. I see what you mean. Black spandex on him as well. Alright. I just didn't have him open. And he's got black gloves. Alright. Now, let's... This is where we're pushing the time limit for normal, but I did stay. Since it's been a while, we can go over a little bit. That's not a problem. Okay. I'm going to go to the blues for him a bit more. And we're going to go to the reds, I think, with her. That part needs to be a red. What else need to do? A red gem. Ah. Alright, where's my opening? There it is. Alright, he's got a red gem in the back. And red gem there. Alright. We were doing that shade of red on her. But I also have white that I need to put over there. Shoot. It's going to be a difficult spot there. This is where doing a lot of black kind of messes with the scene a bit. We'll have to do some highlights on the hand to make it show up a little bit better. Alright. There's a bluish white as well. Kind of tealish white. Let's go with that. I'm going to try and fix this up here. Okay. Up. Undo. Undo. No, redo that. Undo that. Okay. Alright. Let's go into writing a villain. So, I mean, we're getting into that point with Demon Blade, as well as we're drawing a fight scene here, so we have a villain. Frieza, while I don't like his design, he's a great villain. He's probably one of anime's best villains. Not the best, but one of the best. Same with Cell in Dragon Ball. When you write for a villain, you, one, need to have a decent back story for how they develop as a villain. But also, make sure that they have sort of this snapping point. We can call either Blizz or Cell's villain. Or Celly villains. Okay. So, I mean, when I wrote Yoku, Shin Yoku in Demon Blade, I wanted a character that had a decent tragic story that would be identifiable, but willing to go that step beyond. And that's the trick for a villain to a hero. It's where you get characters like Eren Yeager that sort of go from the hero to the villain of the story by being that hero that takes that next step that they shouldn't. Now, you can have a Frieza villain. Again, I'm not going to speak for Frieza and superhero because I hadn't gotten a Frieza in superhero. I only go for Frieza on Dragon Ball Z, which Frieza is a villain to be a villain. Nothing about Frieza was redeemable. Whereas Vegeta was redeemable. In a sense. Vegeta's still an asshole. But that's Vegeta's character. Not really superhero, not an issue. So, Frieza still is an asshole. That just kills to kill. I thought I did a little bit of reform for him, but he never needed to reform. He was a good villain, and if you reform him, you kind of destroy him. Blackbeard in One Piece, going back to One Piece, I mean, he's a decent villain to hate, but he's not done much that equates to horrific villain compared to the world government and what they've done. I'm more afraid of Aang than I am of Blackbeard in One Piece. With good reason. The movie wasn't their period, or the manga as well. It's Mille Lacs. Okay. L's a good villain. Even though I hate Death Note. I hate it. I hate it. L was a decent villain because he played and manipulated people, including the readers. The problem with Death Note's villain with L is he just had a horrible opponent with M. Mallow, or I'm trying to remember exactly. M and N were crap compared to L. And, or Light. Light was a good villain. Seriously. But in a way, L was the villain of the story because we followed Light. You don't necessarily need to have this overarching villain. And I mean that I'll use Pluto. I'll use Pluto as an example. The villain in Pluto is kept complete mystery for most of the series. They're hidden away, and it makes you have to question of these great heroic robots of this war, who is Pluto? Because Pluto is the villain. So it gives us this great sort of compelling villain to not know his reasoning, not know why they went around killing all the others. Until the story develops further. I could say Vinland Saga, but there's honestly, as much as Canute is a villain, he's not. I mean, he's a villain in history. The dude was not a great person in history. But as a villain in anime, trying to make these gems look like actual gems. and reflect light from the top, or wherever the light source, which is going to be the top this time. Fudge. There we go. Start bringing this tail section in a bit. Get the shadow going. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much with Demon Blade, but Yoko is not the only villain. And he's at times going to be sort of, I don't want to say an ally. He's always going to be an antagonist. Let's put it that way. But he's not always going to be the villain. It's just the first story arc that sets up much of my and the series, because this is ultimately my story in the story arc. So making Yoko into a far more despisable villain early on is good. And that's what 9 was setting up a little bit in the last few pages. And you'll see more when he reappears in 11 through 14. But, yeah, I mean, I gave him some relatable moments, but you'll see, and you kind of saw the last few pages of Demon Blade, where he's not mentally stable. He is very much snapped. And uses his strength and skill to get what he wants, or to at least try to get what he wants. Other villains in the series, well, I mean, one's sort of already appeared, which is August. August will continue to be sort of a rival villain for our main cast. She's got what she wants in life, or tells herself what she wants in life she deserves, and build upon that. So early on in the series, as we saw in 8 and a little bit in a couple chapters, she has a real, what do you call it, possessive relationship with Kyle, where she feels she is deserving of him. Kind of like Yoku feels he is deserving of the blade. He paid for it, in a sense, including his life. And both have their unique ways about going through things. We will see a very manipulative August develop. And you will see her friends sort of go through their own changes. They will not continue to be villains. There will eventually be a splitting between the two. But that's in the later stories. And then we have villains of the week. I'll use one that people know about. The villain of chapter 15 is a ghost possessing chicken. Silly villain of the week. And I get to have a lot of good villain puns with him. A lot of chicken puns. But, I mean, hey, after having Yoku as his main villain for a story arc, you need something silly and just humorous for a villain. Alright, let's try. I'm trying to zoom in on my page or my computer. Okay, there's 4 stars and then some kanji. Let's see if I can do the kanji first. Not exactly the proper way to do kanji, but get that off. Okay. There's that. And again, the details when you do a fight scene. Yeah, Dragon Ball, you have the different kanji on Goku's back, depending on who's being his master at the time. So, I mean, that's important to remember. Luffy, it would be stuff like its facial scar and its chest scar. Straw Hat as well. It's 4 black stars. Okay. Bring this up. Over. I think my biggest... Well, I have 2 challenges to do with Chapter 10 when I get to it. One, the character introduced is a golem. He's very detailed. I'm going to probably do a simplistic version of his detail in the actual pages. Maybe do some hiding of it, because it's mainly going to be his arms and legs. Because he's made of rock, shows his Rocky body form. The other issue, and one I keep putting myself in, and it's gonna be where things really slow down. And that's drawing multiple characters in one scene. And I mean like 10, 12, something like that. It takes a lot of time to get them to look right. And since it's a lot of sports in the next chapter, because it's football, American football, that is somewhat of the presence. Because if you're in America, you went through high school, you know that homecoming is both a football game and a dance. So, as the story takes place at homecoming, we have the football game and we have the dance. Alright, we're going to do some quick background work. I'm going to switch to maybe an orange here. My headphone. There. Makes them pop out a little bit more. I do want to do a shadow on Sally, but I want to get some background going here. When I could do a quick sort of, let's see, where's the function? It's not layer, down here, okay, yeah. Well, I could do the typical sort of, I'm going to put that in the background. I think it's called a ray trace box. That you see in anime manga. I use it a lot in Demon Blade. When you have a contact hit. I'm gonna save that there, fade it. I'm gonna do something else. Let's see. Reselect. So I'm not doing. Alright, I'm gonna go real tiny to do this. Because it's a little easier to get a straight line mobily. And doing some line work. Do similar with Demon Blade, and you might see it when I do dribble draws with Demon Blade. This etching technique. We just kind of want to give a sort of sketchy background because they're moving forward. They're moving fast. And I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know. I don't know. Feels a little off. What I might do, take that and layer. Do something with the brush. Let's see. I want to do black straight, but red's going to be orange to purple, I guess. It is contrasting. One thing I could do is opposing colors, something like blue versus red or such. Just sort of create my own sort of crash here for the two of them. So let's bring that in. I want to bring a few lines. There we go. Looking a little bit better. Maybe take some white. Let's do it on a different layer, actually. Again, COVID. Reason I'm coughing. Ah, we got a spot we need to fix first. Oh, there we go. All right. There. Bring it out. Now, using the brush, we're gonna kind of do our own explosive layer if I can. All I'm doing, for those that wondering the technique, is just took a brush and I'm sort of just circling around, going over it multiple times. And then maybe add in some dark orange on one side. So I'm going to throw some color. And I mean, that's one of the things when you're doing an action series, particularly an action manga, the backgrounds are simple. You don't go into these elaborate backgrounds unless you're in a story moment. But when you're in a fight, you go very simple in the background. So, chapter 10, well, it's occurring on the football field. Some of 11 is also occurring on the football field. I'm going to be doing very minimal background work. I might have one or two larger panel moments where they're more upfront, but it's up to me how I feel per panel. But yeah, just giving that. Let's take this layer that we just made, and I want to color burn maybe? No. Let's Subtract? No. Screen? No. Overlay? No. Difference? No. Maybe darken? No. Oh, I've got all. No wonder why I'm not seeing anything. That was done. Okay. There's darken. There's multiply. Kind of like a little bit of there. Oh, nope. Quit doing that. Color burn. We lose the little burst, but we gain some interesting color into it. We get some red popping up, which mimics their colors. Maybe we'd have to redo the burst, but see, subtract, no. Screen, no. Overlay, kinda. I'm getting a little bit of that red. Not much. I don't like the burst as much now. So I think I'm going to go with multiply. No, not multiply. Let's go with color burn. It looks a little bit better. Not sure what the kanji says. My kanji sucks. I don't know what the kanji says either. None of the symbols are recognizable to me because I just don't with kanji. We need to do our sword, don't we? We can skip the sword. The point is a brawl. So, let's do some shadow on her. So, nope. Let's actually do it a different way, because it'll be a little quicker this way. I'm going to take some black. No, give me the black again. Do it sort of a quick way here. We're just gonna do an overlay, basically, with this. A little bit of here. Oh, no, too bad. Too much. Again, too much. Carry it over. Little shadow here. More shadow here. A little bit of shadow down here. And a little shadow there. Alright, let's see. Alright, we're going to do multiply. Subtract, no. No, not overlay. Let's go to multiply again and fade it. Nope. There we go. Quick way to do shadow. In fact, let's on the same while we're on the same layer. Nah. And we do need to touch his foot again anyway. We got a good shadow with this blue. It kind of doesn't really get used on her. Trying to do this with a big brush. Really should go smaller. Alright. Yeah, I have a very loose kanji knowledge. So I don't know what that says. If somebody who's watching in the future knows what it says, let us know. Write in the comment. I want to lose that. And we're going to actually fade. Not that one. Let's fade this one a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is grab this layer. And if you can, yep. Grab this layer. Wait, come on. There we go. Grab them both. Put one real quick layer here. And this is where we're going to do a real quick one of the sort of bursts. Grab the pin tip to lower. And do the same up here. Bring that orange in. And there we go. We need to do something with the gray. I'm going to, with Blur or Blizz, we're gonna do a dark blue, but sort of a faded blue. Oh. Back on that layer. Get back up to 20, which is where I usually keep it. I'm not. Let's do it. Fine, we'll do it on another layer. Oh, I know what's happening. There we go. Put a little bit of highlight. Do the same with your gloves. Try and give them some knuckle. Yeah, don't like that one. Do a little bit And we can change the blue after. But we just want a little bit of a highlight on this gray, because we got so much gray and black. And with her, let's do a reddish gray. I can get a decent brownish gray or so. Just a little bit of a highlight. Just to tell. Alright, let's see. Right there. A little bit of it here. Okay. It's not much, but it's enough to make it pop a little bit. Ah. Okay. Let's add a highlight to her eyes, because I didn't do that earlier, and finish a shadow moment there, see? Toriyama doesn't really do highlights on his characters. We're on the wrong letter. I forgot. You'll see sometimes a little glint, but not that often. You'll see it more with like Trunks or Gohan. Well, no, not Gohan. More Trunks. More Trunks. Any of the ones that have full eyes, not the dot eyes that he gets. Looking epic. Thank you. Wow. My memory use is just being used up on my iPad. Okay. Let's save. I'm gonna have to probably call it, because it is getting. Oh, I'm typing the wrong thing. Ah. Hey. No. Blizz versus Cell. Sure. Okay. Got that saved. Alright. So, actually, yeah, this is probably going to be a good spot to stop. It's been one of our longer episodes, but we've been away for 2 weeks, so it's suitable. We will be back tomorrow night to do some of Yakuza 0. We'll be playing that through. That'll be our Let's Play, at least for the next few weeks. We will be here on Tuesday for a dribble draw, where we're going to be doing some witching, drawing, and going over Food Network's fails. And then on Wednesday, not Thursday, but Wednesday, we're going to be doing Lesser Luck, and we're going to be looking at the anime Shy. Superhero anime. definitely an interesting series we will definitely be talking about. But I do want to thank Cypher for joining in and giving us this concept to play with. It's definitely been a little bit different from our usual setup. We don't usually do too many action, but it's good to always do a little bit of it. And we had some decent talk. So I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. Check us out on Patreon /Demon Blade, or check us out by using the hashtag EmbryArts or I. And you can chat with us there. I'm going to be dumping something on Patreon soon. 2 more pages of Demon Blade and the latest Patreon week work tomorrow night. Maybe. It depends on how quickly I get it done. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and a wonderful year. And good night, everybody.